That we pivot, right, Scott?
Ben Broussard.
He stayed. He's here.
We're here. I never left.
Chief of External Affairs.
That's a fancy title.
That is a fancy
He's good
title.
at that. That's his thing, making fancy titles. But you're here for a great reason.
But actually, that one's accurate as opposed to what I usually say.
Yeah, that's very true. Yes.
It's chief storyteller. How about that?
That's it.
So,
we gotta go.
Catholic Charities of Acadiana, Ben. I mean, you guys do great work, but boy, when something like this happens, you really got to ramp it up.
It's storms. This is something that doesn't discriminate. We're so used to them in South Louisiana. It's not if, it's when.
Yep.
We can debate the climate science and all those things all day long. The fact is, we're seeing the storms. They're coming in bigger. They're coming in stronger. They intensify quicker. So I'll leave it up to the meteorologists to figure out why that's happening, but we're trying to figure out how to best respond to those who are most likely to suffer at a higher level.
Okay, best respond then. How do you get that information? Who are you counting on? How do people let you know that there's a problem? There's a network. So after the storm, we're asking folks if there is damage on your home, on your property, to call 211. If you're in the city of Lafayette, call 232-HELP, but outside of that, 211. We have a coordinated disaster reporting form that they will take over the phone. Great. That will be fed out to our VOAD partners, not just Catholic Charities of Acadiana, but other disaster responding agencies that are a part of VOAD. From there, we'll send out volunteer disaster assessment teams to come and check out your property, check out your home, figure out what needs to happen. From there, you can triage those cases. Some of them need to be addressed as soon as possible. Some of them, might be like, hey, I've got a limb here, but I can still exit my home. And
right.
Maybe that one can wait a little bit.
But is there something that needs to be done right now?
That's right. That's right.
Triage. Okay.
That's right. And then from there, we have teams that will go out and do the mucking and gutting and the debris removal teams.
Wow. So if there's folks at home watching and they're like, hey, I want to be on that team, I want to help out, how can they do that?
Right now, we're asking for folks to raise their hands and say, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be wanting to do that if I'm not heavily impacted myself. So going to CatholicCharitiesAcadiana.org, there's a red bar at the top. You can pre-register as a volunteer right there. We will start getting on the horn and calling folks and making sure what your availability looks like over the next few weeks, and then we can put together a plan.
I love how you and Catholic Charities and other great organizations, and you've worked with all of them. You put aside the territorial stuff, and it's all about getting Acadiana up and rolling again, and getting these families up and rolling again. It becomes about us and not just about you. Well,
in a big disaster, you've got to be prepared to go for the long haul. Yeah. And if you're trying to do it all at once, you can't. You run out of steam. And so we've learned over the years that you've got all of your partners who are a part of that Acadiana VOAD, which means volunteer organizations active in disaster. United Way, Second Harvest Food Bank, Goodwill of Acadiana, Salvation Army, other Love Acadiana, other partners that they all have their lanes. Yeah. And they have things that they're really, really good at. Something to bring to the table. And so what we do is we meet on a regular basis and we discuss cases, we discuss where assets can be deployed. So it's not just us, because that's the only way to bring back a community is to do it together.
And a great thing too, I think, about Acadiana is people are always looking to help.
They're always looking to help. Whether it's and you've got your role. So whether an organization has their role, we all have our role in the community. Yep. Whether it's making a monetary contribution to help, like, hey, I'm working 40 hours a week. I can't go out and volunteer, but I can cut some cash to help bring a family back. Maybe it's an in-kind donation through an Amazon list where you can make that order of things that we need.
Because the check is great, but a lot of times that stuff, the extra lumber you've got, the extra plumbing supplies you've got, so great stuff. Ben, we appreciate it.
We do. We'll see you in a bit, Ben.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're cutting you off for the governor.
I love it.
We are, and that is exactly where we're headed. You can stick around for this. We are going to go to Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry. He's got a briefing this afternoon.